As soon as you are granted life, you are guaranteed death. What you do in between is up to you. You should always try your very best in all things. There's a version of you that never sleeps in, never skips training, never wastes time. Imagine the person you would be. Genuinely imagine what you would look like. Imagine where you would live. Imagine the car you would drive. Imagine the love you would see in her eyes when she looks at you with adoration like a king. That person is waiting for you. And the only thing that's stopping you from being that person is your monumental laziness. You can transform yourself into that guy. You can be a top G. The only people who do not have the things they want are the people who do not try for them. You are not stupid. You are not incompetent. You are lazy and arrogant. How can you possibly ever become a monumentally successful person if you cannot control yourself long enough to do what must be done as opposed to what you feel like doing? If you only go to the gym when you feel like going to the gym, you're never going to be as strong as the people who go to the gym when they don't feel like going to the gym. That is a reality of life. How can you ever outcompete me if I can force myself to do the things I don't want to do and you cannot? A man must do what he is supposed to do irregardless of how he feels. That is the key component to masculinity, is discipline. Discipline is the key to success. If you cannot force yourself to do something you don't want to do, how are you ever going to put yourself through the suffering required for greatness? On your path to greatness, there are going to be long periods of time where you hate what you are doing, where you are tired, where you are stressed. That is why most people won't make it. The difficulty gives it value. If it wasn't difficult, everyone would have it and you wouldn't want it because no one would respect it. Life is supposed to be hard. You're supposed to suffer and smile through the pain regardless. So if you lack discipline, you lack the very basic building block to any type of success. You are going to stay a loser and a failure. You can give most people a roadmap to success. And a lot of people still wouldn't make the destination because they would say the drive is too far away. They don't have the discipline. You can tell them exactly how to do it, but they don't have the discipline to complete the drive and end up at the destination. This is your competition. Even me, with my monumental powers, I can't make a quitter successful. If they are a quitter, guess what they're going to do? They're going to quit. Somewhere along the drive, the sun's going to get in their eyes, and they're going to sit there and go, I don't like this, this is hard, and they're going to quit. If you're a quitter, I can't help you. God himself cannot help a quitter. Don't be one of those people. Never quit. Never give up. Most of you are happy to be losers part-time. You want to escape, but then that new video game comes out. I'll just play the video game. I'll just be a loser for 2 more weeks. Then I'll get back to trying to escape the matrix. It doesn't work that way. You cannot quit. You cannot give up. You need that momentum to break free. When a rocket is flying out towards the moon to escape the atmosphere, it doesn't pause halfway up the sky, does it? You're in competition with the entire world. Everyone wants to escape. You cannot be lazy. No more video games, no more dumb shit. You are the only person who can make this work, and you're also the only person who can this up. There is a lot of excuses for laziness. And what people will often do, I see this a lot, is people come to me and they pretend to be confused about things to try and justify their inaction. So I'll say, jump on one leg and spin in a circle and you'll begin to make money. They'll sit and say, okay, which leg? And what shoes do I wear? And can I use a trampoline? And how long do I jump for? You are just trying to pretend you're learning to stop yourself from needing to jump. But the fact that I told you to do something and now you don't want to admit you're too lazy to do it. So instead you're pretending. So you say, I can take you from $0 a month to $10,000 a month in a few short weeks. I don't want $10,000 a month. I want $1 million. Well, if you want $1 million, 10,000's closer than zero, dipshit. They're not ambitious. They're trying to hide their laziness behind ambition, especially with trying to hide their laziness behind this quest for knowledge. When someone says to me, hey, should I buy crypto? My answer is, if you want. Like, I'm not being responsible for your decisions. What you should do is make a bunch of money, do extra hours in your peasant job so that you have some money you could afford to lose in a worst case scenario. And then you can buy some Bitcoin and still pay your rent. If it goes up, it goes up. If it goes down, it doesn't matter. Your rent's still paid. Anyway, I saw him a few weeks later. He's like, I've been really reading about that Bitcoin. I've been looking into Bitcoin and blockchain. And he's telling me more about Bitcoin than I know. I've got 1,000 Bitcoin. I don't even know this. You spent all those weeks reading instead of working. You still have no Bitcoin because you still have no money. I don't know what you know, and I have all the Bitcoin. I'm not sitting there measuring the hash rate like a dickhead. You should have gone to work and just bought some. He's just trying to hide his laziness and obscure laziness behind this thirst and quest for knowledge. The amount of investments I've made, not because I researched, just because I had money at the time when no one else was buying because they were researching. I bought Bitcoin not caring if it goes to zero. The amount of people who try and hide behind this thirst for knowledge is truly incredible. You win through action. The universe is actually a very giving place. And if you're God, you have all these blessings to give out. And if you give blessings to everybody, then you give blessings to nobody. If everybody's a millionaire, then being a millionaire doesn't mean anything. You can't buy anything. So there has to be people who win and people who lose. And karma is sitting there with this huge pot of blessings, looking for people. And it's just looking for someone who gives a shit and tries. You'd be surprised what happens when you actually try. You can't put the two together, but for some reason you just start winning. They see all these people who go, I want blessings, but they're just sitting on their ass, refusing to do anything. If I could tell you words that would make you beat me in a fight, training would be pointless. I'm going to beat you because I've trained thousands of hours that you haven't trained. And I'm stronger than you and I'm faster than you. And I know things you don't know. Just work. It's going to be hard, but you'll get to the end. If you're going to sit here and feign the quest for knowledge to try and obscure your laziness, you're just going to continuously get battered and destroyed forever. That's the bottom line. That's the only way to get anywhere in life. It's so important. Dedicate yourself for 1 month. Say, you know what? For 1 month, I won't be a jackass. 1 month. By the end of that month, you'll understand the world in a different way. You'll have money you never would have had before. It takes 1 month of your life. Think of what you were doing a month ago. How much time have you wasted? And that's what's important. It's extremely important you understand that the universe works the same. It's not going to give it to lazy idiots. It's going to give it to people who actually try and actually work. Some people deserve to be poor and are born to lose. Poor people are often poor because they were given 1,000 chances and didn't do anything. If you want something, you find time. So don't sit and lie to me and pretend that you want to network and you can't do it, and you want to make money and you don't have time. Because if you really wanted to, you'd be able to do everything. If you can sleep just fine being broke, then guess what? You're always going to be broke. If you go to bed and you can't sleep because you're furious at the fact that I can buy a new supercar every day and you don't have a single one, then you might do something about it. But there's no such thing as busy. There's no such thing as don't have time. That's all garbage. And I think one of the biggest problems with the world today is that men keep talking about how they feel. There's not a single man around me who says, I feel. You wake up and you have a list of things that need to be done. You're either going to do them or you're going to make excuses. And how you feel has no bearing on that list. The list must be completed irregardless of how you feel. So why are we even putting importance on those feelings? If you have values, whatever they are, then you're going to have to sustain those values. If you don't work for something or you're not prepared to suffer or struggle for something, then you don't love it and you don't believe in it anyway. If you love a woman, you'll struggle to keep her. Right. If you're not working for it, then you don't love it anyway. So the values come with obligations, and those obligations are to fulfill your duty irregardless of how you feel. If you ask the average man to think back on the times of his life that he really suffered or he hated, usually if they're a good man, retrospectively, they're glad they happened. War is certain for all of us. We're all fighting different battles. You can either suffer the intense pain it requires to become a somebody or suffer the intense pain of being a forever nobody. Pain is an extremely important part of the equation. The worst thing that can happen to you as a man is you live a life with no pain in it. To be born into a rich family and have a nice, easy life, and you don't have to go to the gym and not have to train because you have bodyguards. You're going to be miserable and unhappy and a drug addict buying prostitutes. You're only going to feel confident in yourself and feel happy when you've been through hell and come out the other side. So, the person who is waiting for you, he requires your motivation, also requires huge amounts of pain. So when bad things happen to you, do not sit at home and lament. Instead, look in the mirror and say, thank you, God, for giving me one of the ingredients that is needed for the chemical concoction that is going to turn me into a superhero. I want you to get pen and paper and write down everything you want to achieve in the next 4 years, the children you want to have, the car you want to drive, the money you want to make. I guarantee you, every single thing you write down on that piece of paper is going to come true. Everyone has a dream. But not many people have a plan. A dream and a plan are different things. When you say to guys, do you want to be rich? Yeah, I want to be rich. How will you get rich? When's the last time something fantastic has ever happened on accident? When's the last time you've seen a big jacked dude and you say, hey man, how'd you get so jacked? And he goes, dunno, oops. No, he planned it. He went to the gym, he ate a certain way. It's exactly the same with getting rich. You need a plan to get rich. Everyone out there has a dream, but very few people have a plan. The best thing about being a man is that You get to build your character. It's very much like a video game. You start off and you get to decide which of your stats you're going to work on. A lot of people aren't sure what they even want. So first you need to decide what you want to do and what you want to be, and then you need to start working towards it.
You have to design your dream life. Who's your woman going to be? Is she blonde? Is she brunette? What car are you going to drive? You can design your dream car right now, and you can choose the color. You can choose the wheels. You can choose the car. How much does it cost to the dollar? You don't even know what your dream life is. How do you expect to get to a destination when you don't know where you're going?
It's easy to get trapped by economic necessity and settle for existence rather than substance. But the best advice I can give you on how to break out of that trap is to learn how to set goals. See, reasons will change your whole life. Life has a mysterious way of hanging on to all the answers and only gives them up to the people that are inspired by reasons. Now, what are some of the reasons for doing well? Let's go through a quick list. First is personal reasons. Some people do well for respect. Some people do well for the way it makes them feel. They love the feeling of being a winner. Once in a while somebody says to me, boy, if I had $1 million, I'd never work another day in my life. That's probably why the good Lord sees to it they don't get their million, right? They'd quit. They'd quit. Next is family reasons. Some people do extremely well for other people. Sometimes we will do things for somebody else we will not do for ourselves. Good question tonight. What's got you turned on? What's got you bombed out of sight to get up early and stay up late and hit it all day? What's got you turned off? When I found the answers to those two questions, my life exploded into change. I've fallen out of the sky a few times, but I've never lost that drive to make something unique out of my life. See, reasons altered my whole life. Sometimes it doesn't take much. Sometimes those little reasons are the most powerful reasons that can change your life. One of my dear friends, Robert Depew, Bobby used to be a school teacher, one day decided he wanted to get into sales. When he did, his brother laughed at him. Said, Robert's lost his mind. Bobby said, the way my brother acted when I got into sales, he said, that made me so mad. Today, Robert happens to be one of my millionaire friends. Bobby's rich. And my question for you tonight is it possible to get that mad? Wealth is not a matter of intelligence. It's a matter of inspiration. Hey, get you a long enough list of reasons so that after tonight you never lack for inspiration. Now let me give you a little simple formula for goal setting. First of all, I've divided goals into two parts. First is long range. Your dreams for the next 3, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Actually, the rest of your life. You've got to keep dreaming. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? What do you want to see? There's a Bible phrase that says, without dreams and visions, people perish. Here's the second part of goals, short range. That's your goals for tomorrow, this week, this month, this year, the immediate future. That starts building your strong feelings to go for your dreams. Make sure you've got your economics well planned. What if you asked somebody tomorrow if you could see their meticulously well-planned list of economic goals? They say, you some kind of a nut? You must be weird. Hey, I found out what success is. Success is doing what the failures won't do. Make a list of the things you want. And on my list of things, now I put everything. Doesn't matter how small it is, it goes on my list. Now, when you check off something major, celebrate. See, we all grow from two experiences. One is called the pain of losing. The other one is called the joy of winning, which also means make losing painful. But hey, winning and losing, see, that's what it's all about. That's the name of the game. Now, some people lead such mediocre lives. At the end of the day, they don't know whether they're winning or losing.
If you do not have it written down, your chances of it happening is reduced drastically. Write everything you want on a piece of paper. Use your wildest imagination. If you can think it, you can achieve it. Come back here 1 year from today and see how much of that stuff then came true.